And welcome to halftime on If You Don't Like That. Ryan in Sacktown, joined by Mr. Jerry Reynolds. The Kings down 556-51. Jerry, Demonis Sabonis double-double in his return game.
Yeah, it looked like the Domas we've seen for years. Before the injuries he seemed to have, he just seemed to be wearing down a lot, I think, and looks fresh out there. And obviously, the team, with the exception of that last minute, just where the team got a little too sloppy and careless, I thought played the Celtics pretty even. Fun game to watch. Good effort. Bench performing. Fultz, Valanciunas, Laravia, all of them very solid minutes. Just need more of the same, and hope to see he's missed a few threes.
Yeah, Peyton Pritchard, Jerry. He'd be good in Sacramento.
Sure would. That guy's just gets better every year. You can see the pace he plays with, and I think with the Celtics, with Tatum he and Brown put so much pressure on the defense that it opens up guys like Pritchard and White. They get a lot of good looks, and they're really good shooters.
Yes, they are indeed. So a lot of talk, Jerry, over the last couple days about the Kings and the offense going stagnant. I thought the Kings offense looked really good in the first half. Seemed like they were getting downhill. What were they doing different? What did you see?
I think more than anything, it's just the ball wasn't sticking, the ball moving better. You're seeing guys move without the ball for a change, not standing waiting for it. Had some cutters. Keegan Murray really started off aggressive. That's always good.
Yeah.
But I think Domas has a lot to do with that because he's getting the ball more and he'll find guys. He's looking to get the ball moving. And so you're not playing so much around the perimeter as we saw in the last several games where the ball's just kind of moving around the perimeter or little one-on-one activity. And so far so good. It's looking heading the right direction. We'll just have to see. They're playing, as you know, they're playing defending champs.
They are the defending champs. The Kings actually doing pretty well in the paint. They've got a 30-22 lead there. Boston leading the bench, scoring 23-12. Zach LaVine, Jerry, played all 12 minutes of the first quarter, only took 2 shots, no points, and 2 rebounds. How do you get him going?
That's a great question. I mean, he's just got to get more out of Levine one way or another now, and really he's got to help himself. His ball handling has really been
That's
been weak. Making too many mistakes with the ball. But I do think he's one of those guys that they need to be running him off screens where he can catch the ball and look to score. To where he doesn't have to use the dribble anymore except to escape dribble,
yeah.
as opposed to try to play off the dribble. And I think that's to me that's really what he's done over his career extremely well.
Very true. The Celtics leading the Kings here at halftime 56-51. Jerry Reynolds joins us. We will be back, Grant and I, after the game with the post-game show, taking your calls. So make sure you join us back here. Jerry, the defense doesn't seem to be too bad. Boston, a team that doesn't turn the ball over a lot, 7 turnovers in the first half. What'd you like about it?
Well, I think with Keon Ellis in that starting lineup, he and Murray, you've got two well above average defenders, and
Yeah.
that helps. And then, of course, Jake Laravia comes in, and he's a well above average defender, and that's really the key. But I think Ellis is just one of those guys that defensively he's good enough that it really makes the team better because he's going to get his hands on some balls and then offensively, he never forces anything; just kind of takes what comes his way. So I'm a I'm a fan. I think the guy, one of those guys that the stats never tell the whole story.
It's a great point, Jerry. He's 3 or 4 from the field, 7 points. He's making the shots he's getting. Do you need to get him more shots?
I think he's a guy that it's a little bit like the Pritchard thing. Let him just go play, take the shots that comes to him. He's certainly a high percentage, 40% shooter, a 3-point shooter, over 40%. But part of it is because he takes good shots.
Sure.
He doesn't force anything, and I don't know if you want to get him out of that. I think to me, Keon is one of the few maybe Kings that playing exactly to his level. He's playing, he's doing what he does well, and he's doing it consistently. And that's what you're really looking for from everyone.
How impressed have you been with his confidence, seeing him grow from last year to this year?
Yeah, it's amazing. I like I say, I thought to me, he was a real key at the end of last year with the injuries and played so well. And
Yep.
like every year, he's added a little something to his game. You'd love to see him become a little more of a playmaker. I don't know if that's in there, but in every other way, you can see his confidence growing. Of course, part of it is, when you have success, you become more confident. It's like
Oh yeah.
it's like anything. As a guy that makes shots, well, if you make some, you feel like you're going to make the next one, and of course it goes the other way. Ask golfers about missing 4-foot putts. How confident
The 4-footers are the worst, Jared. There's
so
just so much to think about.
yeah, no, when you have to, that's what I say. When it's like shooters, when you start thinking, a little bit, and that's when you get in trouble.
Yeah, no doubt. Since we don't have you after the game, I want to throw this in really quick. Mike Bibby is expected to be named the head coach for the Sac State Hornets. Thoughts on that, Jared?
Well, I mean, certainly Mike knows the game, and he was a very successful high school coach. So he's
Yep,
had
Shadow
had
Mountain.
coaching experience. So and I think with his name could help recruiting a little bit. I mean, I want to be honest though. My opinion, and I've said this on some other podcasts and radios, that the problem they got now with his NIL stuff, smaller, low division majors. Even if you get a good player, you can't keep them.
Yeah.
Uh, Basically college basketball now is it's every player is a free agent every year, and that's why you see in the Sweet 16 you don't see any mid majors or in there for the first time. I mean, it's I'm not a fan of the college game at all anymore. I mean, they've got to get something squared away, because it's just a matter of big schools poaching the mid stars from the mid majors poaching them from the low majors poaching them from the Division
No
two
doubt.
colleges. You get you're a small college. I've got some friends, coach there, that you get a good player and you develop them, and they come get them. The lower levels of, with the exception of the high levels of college, everybody else is
Yeah,
G
that's
League.
a very good point. Very good point. Kings down 5, and an unexpected, very good game from them on a homestand that was supposed to be brutal. I mean, they easily, Jerry, could be 3-1 right now in this game.
Prob-
Yeah.
Probably should be, probably should be, and I think that's probably why we're all a little frustrated. But I mean, obviously, with play like we see in the first half here, you know, get that on a consistent basis, and I think things will
Yep, no
work out.
doubt. So I'm going to give you my key really quick. I think pace is the key for the Kings in the second half. Boston does not like playing at pace, 29th in the NBA. I think if the Kings can keep it frenetic, they can probably keep it close, assuming the ball is still moving. What are some of your keys, Jerry?
Well, I like yours. I mean, I think the faster the better, and I think with the Kings bench being productive, you can really start picking up, pressure the ball a little sooner, a
I
little
like that.
harder, uh, and then push it. Domas does a great job for a big, but I mean, guards too. Throw it ahead, push it, keep the pressure on. I mean, as you say, Boston really wants to spread the floor and shoot threes. That's really
Yeah,
what they
that
want to
Jason
do.
Tatum one-legged three-pointer.
Yeah, that's a blast from the past. That was guys used to shoot those back when I was in high school.
I was gonna say, did you teach him that, Jerry?
No. That I thought that was a gone.
Oh my goodness. All right. So I'm looking at the Kings score, and you got 10 for Keegan, 10 for Domas, as we said, 8 for DeMar, 4 for Levine, 7 for Ellis. Who in that starting lineup needs to have the big second half for the Kings to win this one?
Well, I do think Levine's got to be a lot more productive. I don't know if he has to have a huge second half, but he's got to be a lot more productive than he is. And I really do think that probably DeMar's going to have to probably have
Yep.
a big half. I think he's the one guy without Monk that can go for 15, 18-point half, and I think that they're probably going to need that.
There it is. All right. So our credibility is shrinking by the show. We are a combined 0 for 9 the last 3 games with our predictions, but we don't give up.
Yeah.
So, Jerry,
No. Well, and I can't I won't deny it. I'm ultra
yes.
optimistic. I mean, I don't use common sense, of course, but I'm going to use common sense tonight, and I hope I'm wrong again because I'm taking the Celtics 110, Kings
All
107.
right. I think that you didn't know I was in your house earlier today and I busted into your purple Kool-Aid container. I think the Kings are going to pull this one out. I just feel it. Domas's first game back. I'm going to say Kings 112, Boston 111.
Boy, I sure hope you're right. I hope you didn't get all of
No, I
my
left you a
purple
little bit.
Kool-Aid because the supply is getting low. Supply, yeah, it's starting to run out. I'm going to have to conjure
It's
up some
pretty
more.
hard stuff to make, by the way.
Yeah, it's getting harder, But this a win tonight would do a lot toward. It'd be easy to refill that.
Yes,
That
no
vat.
doubt. Let me ask you really quick on the way out the door. Were you surprised that they brought Domas back on the first night of a back-to-back?
I was. Now I suspect it had to do more with him than
Yeah.
them. I expect Domas wants to play, and he certainly looks like he's ready to play. So and conditioning wise he's good. But yeah, I was a little surprised. I thought they would probably wait till after both these
Mm.
games and bring him back against Portland. But hey, it's working. The guy's playing, moving good, running good. Looks
Yes, he
ready to
does.
go.
Hopefully, it remains that way in the second half. Jerry, as always, thank you so much for joining us here at the half. We'll see you tomorrow night. Or actually, we'll see you, yes, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow, and yes, and I am praying for you to be right, Ryan. It's time for you to be
I
right.
don't want that Kool-Aid to get wasted, Jerry. I want you to be wrong again. We're
All right.
opposites now. So, all right, buddy.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate Jerry joining us as he always does at halftime. Sorry, I saw some comments about there being multiple streams. We will look into that. That definitely will not be the case for the post-game show. Grant will be back and in the house after the game, so make sure you join us right here on If You Don't Like That. You can find us on X. You can subscribe right there on YouTube using the QR code. And hopefully we're talking about a Kings victory. It would be a hell of a victory. I mean, 2-0 against the champs. Does that make you the linear champions? Maybe. We'll see. We'll talk about it either way. We will take your phone calls, more importantly, after the game. So make sure you're here. Go Kings. Have a great second half. We'll see you in about an hour.